Warning: the Chaotic Culture Podcast is a program for mature audiences. The language and content presented in this podcast is of a mature nature that some audiences may not find suitable. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. We are all living in a chaotic period, and this is a creative space where that chaos and social constructs may collide. But it is up to us to embrace and celebrate the culture, but to destroy and survive the chaos. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chaos Zone. And this is the Chaotic Culture Podcast with Ked the Pro and Law. Please proceed with caution. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made it through another week. Welcome to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Once again, I thank you all for tuning in to this episode. I thank you for your continuous support on previous episodes. Please be sure that you go and share this podcast with your friends. Tell them to definitely take a listen. Tell them that they are going to enjoy themselves immensely. And they will definitely learn something new from listening to this podcast. That being said, it's your boy again, once again, Ked the Pro, in the building with Law. What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Not much, man. So, as always, got to do the weekly checkup. Kyle, how's everything been, bro?
Hasn't been bad, Still dodging this COVID pandemic.
Of course.
What I'm saying? Left and right. Boosting my immune system. Minding my business.
Hey.
Other than that, what I'm saying? I can't really complain. Just in it for the long run, man.
That's real. That's really real. I'm doing the same, man. Just taking dietary supplements, boosting my immune system, staying in the crib, minding my business, other than going to work, obviously. But I guess that's a given that I'm still working, obviously. Still trying to be safe, even when I'm at work, because I know some people still are hard-headed out here.
These people have literally lost their mind, bro.
Yeah.
Like people walking around with no mask on. Like, you might be comfortable playing with your health, but I take mine and those around me very serious.
Yes.
So let's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do
definitely.
our part and be proactive. Stop trying to make an emphasis point or try to be the person that COVID is fake. No, this is not fake news. People are losing their lives from this.
Yes, and it seems that the our numbers in the U.S. just keep going up and up and up. And I'm like, man, we really need a second lockdown. Virginia has imposed lockdown restrictions again for some parts. We can only hope for the best, at least in my opinion. That's why, because some people just don't want to listen, and it's okay that you don't want to play with your health, but when, as you said, I don't want you playing with my health.
Facts.
So, that's just my view on it, and we say that again, obviously, later on in this episode. Today is actually going to be a special episode. We have a long-term friend of ours coming in the building, and who we consider like one of the dopest artists out in the 75. His name is Skuzii, and he also brought his roommate and one of his managers, Chubbsy, along with him. So I'm definitely excited for y'all to listen to this interview. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. I gotta say this though, if you are going to be offended by cussing, I say now's the time to leave, because this episode, I already know that y'all know that I post the viewer discretion at the beginning of every episode, but now I'm being serious. Like, this viewer discretion is advised and listener discretion is advised for this episode. It's a lot. It is a lot, not from me, but our guests obviously have no filter. So just warning you ahead of time. That being said, if you don't mind, the raunchiness, if you do not mind the back and forth, if you don't mind the slip of the tongues that they have, then I would encourage you to continue listening to this episode. But either way, I had to get that warning out there because I know that there are some people who listen to my podcast who, yeah, they're okay with, like, you know, cussing every now and again, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Before we get into that, let's get an update on what's going on in the world today. Obviously, um, it seems that the current occupant, lame duck occupant in the White House, just won't give it up for one reason or another. You know, I honestly, there was an article saying that he knows that he lost, but he's just doing this to give or pretty much give the Democrats hell. Which honestly doesn't sound too far from the truth. Knowing him, he's very petty and can't take losses well. So he's doing this because he's saying that, oh, well, the Democrats didn't, they didn't certify my win because they ruined it with the Russian investigation or anything. I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, despite that going on, Clinton still conceded the race to you and congratulated you, and Obama still let you, begin the transition. Whereas you haven't done a single thing with Biden, and you're sitting here trying to drag this out, hoping that the courts will take care of it. The court has thrown just about every lawsuit that you can bring to the table out because you have no evidence of voter fraud. But that's just me. I've seen every trick in the book that he's trying to do, and it's just like, okay, dude, you're really just dragging this out at this point. Like, let it go. You lost. Just begin the transition and let us get on with our lives. There's too many people dying out here from COVID. But what else? Some music dropped.
A lot of new music.
Yeah. Megan Thee Stallion dropped her album. I've listened to some of it. I haven't listened to the entire thing. By the time this episode drops, I will have finished the album. It's, in my opinion, it's not as good as Tina Snow, but it's definitely better than Fever. I wasn't really feeling Fever when that came out. And then I don't really have an opinion of Sugar. It's still Sugar, is whatever. But that's my honest opinion. I think this is one of those, okay, the album right now is, from what I've heard, it's kind of in between there. So we'll see when we get to it. Have you taken a listen yet?
Yeah, no, not really. This past week has been a doozy.
I feel that.
I've just been trying to, like I said, maintain and keep it pushing, man.
Word.
The Baby dropped the album. I'm looking for the name of it now.
You said the Baby?
Yeah. He just recently lost his brother.
Okay. I did see the that he dropped a single. I didn't know if he was in the middle of like dropping. Oh, well, the Blame It On Baby deluxe version. Excuse me.
You got that, and then he dropped My Brother's Keeper, Long Live G.
Yeah, I saw that single that popped up. Yeah, man's been through a
tribute
lot.
To his brother.
Yeah.
Future drop and Uzi. I don't know if you heard that one.
I haven't. Oh yeah. I did hear them talk about it, but I didn't realize that they had dropped already. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Pluto and Baby Pluto, or Pluto X Baby Pluto. So I'll definitely take a listen to that. And while we're on the subject of hip hop, there are two things that I just got to talk about real quick. One, the issue with Mulatto, aka Big Lotto. I don't know if you've been seeing the controversy going on with her, but
she was talking about she's not black, or she doesn't identify as black.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like she says in one instance that she doesn't identify as black, but then while she was retorting in another tweet, she says that she's black.
Right.
I'm like, so you pretty much pick and choose what you want to represent. Come on now, like let's cut the bullshit. Let's be real. Come on now, like there's no reason for all of this. It's a lot. There is something else that we found out on Twitter, that obviously that there was somebody who had let her use one of their wigs,
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that she wanted Lotto to do was promote it. She didn't even want her to like pay for it or anything. She just said, I just want you to promote it. Lotto did not do it. She didn't promote it. She took the wig and then she pretty much blocked her. And then so the other person had a complaint about it. And this is from 2 years ago. She was saying, so I let you use one of my wigs, and the only thing that I did was, ask for this. And Lotto was just like, well, I would have reimbursed you if you came like correct to me. Exactly. Just the look that you gave me. And I was just like, so basically you just admitted to being a thief. Come on now. Like, why? And I really wanted to boost her up because she's actually talented, but it's like when fame gets to some people, it's just like all intelligence goes out the window. Either that or it just really reveals
the lack thereof.
Right. Good grief, man. Goodness. Yeah, that one I have to shake my head on.
What can you say? What can you do? Just
you really can't do much of anything with that. The last thing before we get into this interview, did you see the Gucci Mane and Jeezy battle?
Yeah. Yeah. All I gotta say is, first things first, neither one of them played all of their bangers.
They really didn't.
Second of all, I understand where Gucci came from in his comments and his whole backing during this the verses. That man had somebody try to take his life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people might say, oh yeah, you was mad disrespectful, yada yada yada. If you had somebody try to take your life and you defended yourself and the person lost their life, like, I think that's equal justification. Right. I'm not saying, violence is key or is, what should be, that should not be the first result or first thing that is resulted in. But like, yeah, you can't just.
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't expect him to like just sit here and be cool and chill about it. That man had a little personal, very personal reason for saying the things that he said. Like the dude, as you said, like he had somebody come after his life and was defending himself. Granted, we don't know if it was over a song but it was. I think it was a culmination of the fact that it started out with them not performing it together. Then I guess Jeezy had gripes because he couldn't put it on his album. But it led to a lot of bad blood because literally one of your homies, whether you sent him or not, one of your homies decided that he was going to try and take his jewelry and take him out. And Gucci had to respond in kind.
You know what I mean?
So it's like, well, I get why he did what he did, and I understand that, Jeezy had some growth in there, and he wanted to show, why we need to move on and whatnot. But honestly, that wasn't Jeezy's decision to make. Yeah, thankfully, Gucci came at the very end. He said what he had to say and say, you know what, you extended the olive branch, I accepted it. It's all good. I don't think they'll ever be friends, but at least they can be in the same building and not have to worry about, somebody getting shot or anything like that. Right. They ended on like, okay, we can be cordial, and if we need to do business together, we can.
And I think that's what people need to also understand too. Like that last song that they did together was not them confirming a truce. It was more so of, okay, we're moving past what was the time period of this song.
Yep. Pretty much, man. But as you said, there was a lot of bangers that both Jeezy and Gucci didn't play that they really just left on the table. There's a lot of Gucci songs that he left on the table, a lot.
Trap House 3.
Yes.
I don't think he played anything from that tape.
Nope. He didn't play anything from Mr. Zone 6 or The Return to Mr. Zone 6, which is my other two favorite mixtapes.
It was just a lot of... I think more so his set was more so geared towards the hyping of the beef. Not so much as, okay, let me go through all my music and play my bangers. Because he played stuff like "Wake Up in the Sky."
Yep.
And I don't know. I mean, Jeezy had a couple of like newer songs, but a lot of his songs that he played were old.
Yeah.
Gucci played a lot of his more current stuff. I think he was trying to prove a point to the world that, look, Gucci's still relevant 20 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not saying Jeezy not, but
yeah,
I think that's the point that Gucci was trying to prove.
Yeah. Also, I think with this particular beef, like, or not beef, but in this particular battle, as you said, Jeezy played a lot of his old stuff. He really played a lot of Thug Motivation 101 joints. I'm like, now granted, that is a classic trap album, but I'm like, you leaving a lot of stuff off of The Inspiration. You left a lot of stuff off of The Recession, which is another one of his other classics, in my opinion. You didn't play a lot of stuff from 103. And you definitely missed out on like maybe a few songs from the Trap or Die series. You played I think you played one joint that from Trap or Die that had Bankroll Fresh. Yeah. He just a lot that could have been played, but either way.
But I think also that was due to prove a point as well. Like,
yeah,
is levels to the rap game, I think.
Well, either way, I'm glad that the battle happened, because I honestly never would have imagined that those two would have ever ended their feud. I have to give them credit where credit is due, and they did it for the culture, and I'm glad that I got a chance to see it. So, that being said, that's all that I kind of wanted to run through in this beginning. We are going to get into the interview with Skuzii and Chubbsy Bear. And with that, I thank them both for coming through today and being able to share their knowledge and share their experiences and just tell a little bit of their story, as well as with the album that's coming out. Definitely go and check that out. We'll plug it in at the very end. But the next thing that you're going to hear is the start of the interview with Skuzii, Chubbsy Bear. And let me not forget Nasa, because Nasa was definitely a part of this interview. And I thank her for coming through this morning as well. So with that being said, guys, next thing you hear is going to be the interview from the lands of finesse. Let's get it. What's up, family? I'm hoping you're enjoying today's interview. So while I'm interviewing Addison for the Candle app, I just might as well go ahead and throw in a plug for it. So, that being said, Candle Music app isn't just your ordinary music streaming app. It's not like Spotify. It's not like Pandora. It's not like Apple Music. It's not like Google Music. Candle Music specializes in bringing people together through music. We give users and artists the opportunity to spread their playlist to the selected radius and stream it live. So for more information regarding Candle Music, just be sure that you go and visit the website. That's www.candleapp.com, and Candle is spelled with a K. Once again, www.candleapp.com for more information regarding the Candle Music app. Be sure to look out for it when it drops in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Once again, www.candleapp.com. All right, family. So today is a very, very special day. It's a very special interview. I'm actually very excited to be doing this episode because we do have someone who's been doing this rap thing for quite a while. And we all went to Hampton University together, so it's another Hamptonian. But the first time I heard this dude rap, I believe it was Dirty Chucks and Levi's?
Probably.
Yeah. I think that's the first time that I actually heard him. So with that being said, I've known him since 2010, so it's been going on 10 years. The dude is really good at what he does, and it was just a matter of time, before he actually gets to where he wants to be as far as his rap game. Not only does he rap, he plays saxophone quite well. Got a shout out on that. And on top of that, I think when it comes to this music thing, as far as getting what he wants, he taught me a lot of things as well about what he's trying to do in his community as well. You currently stay in Richmond right now?
Yeah, Richmond.
Okay, cool. He stays in Richmond. He's from Newport News, more or less, because I know you got like family from the islands and whatnot. So I'll let you talk a little more about that. But I definitely want to introduce to you, for those who have not heard about this cat. Real name Bruce Denane, but Skuzii is what we call him. And of course, his partner in crime, Chubbs, whose real name is Bruce Burlington Burton Jr. But with that, this is the Tribe of Finesse here. We are going to do an interview here with Skuzii, and I'm very, very excited to have him on this podcast, man. I remember the first time I asked about it, and he said, let's do this in November. And I was like, bet, I'll put it in, and we're now together here. We're about to do this, and this is really, really exciting. So first and foremost, man, Skuzii, welcome into the zone here. How you been, bro?
I'm good. And first and foremost, thank you very, very much for your kind words and shit. Very, very much appreciate that. Appreciate you noticing. I appreciate you saying this. So thank you.
Hey, man, it's not a problem at all. It's not a problem. So just take a little time, speaking to the mic, just tell us a little bit about yourself real quick. Obviously I didn't go into everything, but I definitely wanted to leave some room for you to talk here a little bit.
Yeah. So as you said, my name is Skuzii, SKUZ with 2 eyes, hopefully, like your face. I am from Newport News, uptown specifically, is where I grew up, but I've lived all over 7-5, lived in Williamsburg, lived in Hampton, live out in Richmond now, was born in DC. So I'm a little bit from everywhere. Like you said, I do have a lot of family in St. Thomas on my father's side, French West Indian. And my mother is from North Carolina, Stovall / Oxford, very, very country. Not a lot of people, lots of grass.
Damn.
And yeah, I'm a musician, man. I play sax, play piano, play all types of shit. Writer, rapper, movementer of the culture of hip hop. I was definitely brought up into the hip hop culture more so than the music. So that the cultural aspect is very, very important to me. God damn it.
Word. Chubbs, you are part of the Tribe of Finesse, so I just got to bring you into here. Talk a little bit about yourself, sir.
Oh boy, it's a pleasure. It's both an honor and pleasure to be alive in this realm of reality and shit. My name is Chubbsy Bear, aka the Pillsbury Dope Pimp, aka Buddy Love, aka the Great Community Leader. I am a part of the management and content creating of the Tribe of Finesse, man. Born in Richmond, went to Hampton, live in Richmond now. I like chicken wings. And I do science and shit on top of Tribe of Finesse music shit.
Yeah. Okay. I hope everybody likes chicken wings.
Shout out to chicken wings, but not the ones I got yesterday. I don't think it was cooked all the way. And now I'm like, wow, shitty.
That's salmonella.
Wow. Where'd you get them from so I can know to avoid it?
Hot chick in, I just want to say that people know that I'm speaking of hot chick in Richmond.
Okay.
Farmers market. Yeah, farmers market by our crib. They actually started off real good, man. I like buffalo chicken sandwiches. Like that's my whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing pretty good and it looks good, but it's just like every time we've been going lately, it just gets a little bit shittier every time.
I blame the white people. Because they like the mediocrity of certain foods. And because they didn't have to do too much, they can afford to not season and undercook anything.
Support black business.
Yeah, please. This is a platform where we do support black business. So yeah.
Shout out to Charlotte's in Richmond.
Oh yes.
They don't undercook.
I'll keep that in mind. So just talk about a little more because I know you said you were brought up into the culture of hip hop. So I wanted to kind of get into your head about what made you want to start rapping in the first place?
I've just always loved the culture. I mean, I've been playing sax since I was like most people, again, like middle school, 6th grade type shit. But as far as for hip hop, it's just always been a part of me. My dad is a big fan of just music in general, so I know for him, he was the first person to dissect lyrics for me. Like we be in the car, like I never had anything censored. I never was like couldn't watch certain movies or certain things. It was just you could watch, listen to whatever. Just if you cuss, you get your ass beat. But like my first album that I ever bought was The Last Meal by Snoop Dogg, and I loved it, and it's still one of my favorites. But my dad was the first person to like we hear people rapping, and he would explain the different types of slang to me, the different metaphors and shit like that. And then just coming up, I've just always been attracted. My aunt showed me the movie Breaking, which if you don't know, it's from the '80s about breakdancing, hence breaking. The hip hop culture in itself, for those again who don't know, is broken down into 5 elements: is breaking, MCing, graffiti, DJing, and knowledge of self. So it was very instrumental for me that when I came up to learn all this stuff, and it wasn't forced, it was shit I was just legitimately always very interested in. Like I've always been interested in all different aspects and was exposed to all of them. So, and it still am to this day. I keep my craftsmanship to a high regard. I still like all the different elements and keeping track of what other people do too. It's just, I'm like a legit fan of like the culture of hip hop and then music as well too.
Word, man. So let's talk about your start and more so like what made you hop on the mic and say, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna start rapping for a living. Like I'm gonna do this because this is something that I love, but I want to put out content. What made you first want to put out a project so that way people can like actually listen as far as what you have created?
It took a minute, honestly. Now I will say you actually know the person who was very hard on me to do that. My good brother Andreas Liddell Kane.
Yes, sir.
Also known as Mighty Shy. He was always very confident in me rapping in high school, but I didn't take it serious because I've always been a little bit more weary of my perception as a man, and then definitely like my professional. I've always been kind of like previously worried about what people think of me and shit. So I never wanted to take it all the way serious because I never wanted people to be like, oh, here's this grown ass nigga rapping. Even though back then I was probably like 17, 18, but I didn't want to be where I'm at now and be saying this shit. But I kind of had to understand that, I mean, to be frank, not to give a fuck what anybody else think, because it's like that shit makes me happy. Now, granted, there's ways to go about doing things so that it's professional enough for you to live off that shit, eat off that shit. But somebody else fucking doesn't make me come. Somebody else eating don't make me shit. So I shouldn't be concerned. And if somebody's concerned about what the fuck I'm doing, something's probably wrong with them. They can suck a dick. So that being said, like, but it took a while to get to that mindset. But again, I've always rapped because I love rapping. But that was my excuse. I just be like, oh, this is just this hobby I love to do. But it's like, all right, if you treat it like a hobby, you're gonna benefit from it like a hobby. It's not you're not gonna eat off the shit. And then to me, I mean, I don't believe in wasting time, but in regards to finance and business, to me, I probably wasted a lot of time with that mindset. So I feel like I'm playing catch up, but not in a negative way. It's just okay, I know for sure that this is what I want to do. It doesn't matter where. Like, sorry.
Hey,
but to me, it's like I have my goals. I have my professional goals and what I want to do. But ultimately, like if I die doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna be happy because it's like I knew that I did everything I could to make myself happy. Nigga.
Word, man. Definitely appreciate that info because I felt as though like even though and little known fact, I was a part of that I would say part of that beginning stages because I wanted to figure out how how exactly you wanted to be managed and things like that, and as I was learning along with you, I was like, okay, I see what direction he wants to go in and whatnot. How did the tribe of Finesse come to be?
I would say again, trial and error for myself, because like one of the things in regards to business and specifically music business, I'm a firm believer that music is not something that's supposed to be business. I don't think it's supposed to be a product of a capitalist environment. I feel like it's something spiritual that goes way beyond past our understanding and memories. But that's not the system that we live in. We live in a system where that is what we have to do. So, you either cry about it or adapt to it. And what I've learned over time is that it's just some shit that doesn't stay the same. And what works for one person or one group of people is not gonna work for everybody else. And for me, again, it was a lot of just trial and error of like putting people in position, putting people out of position, figuring out my strengths, like you said, how I need to be managed, what needs to be managed. You know, learning to take my hands off of certain things, let other people doing it, putting people in certain positions, and it takes time. It takes a while for like the professional aspect more so than the creative. So you know, it wasn't like a step thing. It was just as you've seen and as you've been a part of, like it's just literally letting things happen. Now I will say that's something I've learned is to put motherfuckers in position, but also let things happen naturally too. Mm-hmm. Don't try to force too much shit because what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. But at the same time, don't be one of the motherfuckers either that's like, I'm just gonna let God take the wheel. It's like I was waiting on you to take the wheel, buddy. Like you got it.
I was gonna say, look, God is giving you the wheel. You better drive it.
Exactly. So it's a weird balance.
Right. Nasa, you got any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right. So I think one like of the biggest things of like being a new artist for me is not feeling overwhelmed. Not feeling overwhelmed and just trusting the process. So what would you say to a new artist who's just, who's still trying to get, their feet wet and try to get things going for themselves? Like, because I know I don't have a team. Yeah. I'm doing this by myself. So what would you say, in me trying to continue not feeling the pressure of like, oh, it has to happen now. Like I have to have this certain amount of views, and just with my craft.
I would say knowing it won't happen right now. Mm-hmm. It does take time. I would say one thing to avoid, not that you're doing this, but I have done it to myself in the past, and had to be mindful. And it didn't take a long time, but I see niggas do this shit all the time. Don't be one of those, I don't have a team people. You know what I mean? Know that, you're in this position right now because you have to, I wouldn't be able to tell him or whomever what to do if I couldn't do it myself. Mm-hmm. I've gotten to the point that I can't do it myself. It doesn't make sense. Like, you can't stay there forever, but I do feel like that's an important part of all of our journeys is when it's the 40 days in the forest, it's Jesus and getting tempted by the devil and shit. This is for you to learn. You have this is the shitty part where you got to figure that shit out. But I would say don't worry about numbers, but be cognizant of them. For example, I don't give a fuck about 10,000, but I give a fuck about 10,000. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to ruin my doubt because I've had drop videos before that you might not be able to even find them. They still exist out there. I make it a point not to delete a lot of my old shit. You can find a lot of my old stuff from when I first got started. But Skuzii man with one eye. But yeah, it does take time. Now I will say it's important to start to do that research. I always literally he can tell you I'm a nerd. I watched nothing but YouTube videos from other countries, other different people talking about how to promote your shit and different ways to do stuff. I got hella audio books on updated stuff with the industry. So just be a nerd too. Yes, and ask questions like you're doing now. Always ask questions is important and making sure niggas ain't giving you vague ass answers because that shit is kind of annoying. I used to hate that.
I do hate vague. I do hate vague questions.
Trust in God.
I'm trusted, but
and then what? Yeah, pray.
I'm trusted, but then I gotta do some groundwork. I gotta do some groundwork and everything.
You definitely do some shaking and moving. I know, the tribe isn't where we are now because of what we've done just solely this year. We've been working together 2.5 years now.
Yeah,
and it's been
about even
before then, it's been a learning process. We've tried, even you had 3 mixtapes drop before this album's coming out, and we tried 3 different styles of promo. We tried 3 different techniques on how to get something out there. We canvassed, enrichment on our own, stapling flyers on different campuses, different cities, stickers, all types of
Invest in stickers.
That's a good investment. That's actually a really good investment. And QRC codes.
Yes.
If anything, I know I'm not the artist, but part of the team. What he's benefited from is having a team.
Yeah.
Because it's we had a conversation before. He used to try to do everything on his own because he likes the business aspect of music. I'm here. I mean, we were roommates for one. He just told me to start doing some random stuff, and it just started to develop. You find people's natural gifts, and they start to develop their own shit, and they'll start to benefit you, solely you. You know what I'm saying? Or not even solely you, both of y'all.
I would say too, in regards to the team aspect, what I was doing wrong versus what I figured out, which is don't try to recruit people. Like that's not, because then it's like you put in people. Because I've had like a lot, and shout out to everybody who has, but I've had some very random management situations of people I was just cool with, like that y'all don't even know, that it might only last like a week or two, and it was me forcing people. Like with a lot more of the recent situations, it's been I just watch who's around me, but it's also about knowing. It's like double dutch. It's like, okay, I got this person around me, but knowing when to approach them about it and how to, like, because you have to keep in mind, like, ultimately they're helping you out, so you have to figure out how to make it advantageous for them. Like, it's like, it's like, yeah, it's cool, like they understand, you understand, but it's like on the business aspect, like you want somebody well fed around you. So you want to like for me, my whole thing is breaking everybody even. Like I don't really believe in like, oh, you only do this so you get this much, that much. Like, nah, we all put up the same amount, we all get back the same amount, you know. But yeah, damn, someone's like, fucking relationships. Like, yo, get cool with everybody, like, or at least have a relationship. Like professional and businesses, the same shit. Professional and personal is two different things, but it's like a lot of things that we've done this year or even previous or stuff that I've been able to do for people just because I've kept good business relationships with people. Like even if shit didn't work out or if it's like a venue I didn't use, like because I have a good rapport with those people, I can always go back and use them, and then knowing when to ask people for things too. Don't be afraid to ask for shit. Ask for shit all the time.
Word. So I know that you just said this because we actually told you before the interview started, of course, that your latest video had hit 10K.
What? Skuzii, goddamn.
Yeah. So just give a brief synopsis on pretty much how you went into creating that song, Newport Shorts. Like what went into your head when you were making that video, and pretty much just give us I guess a glimpse into the creative process.
Yeah, for this whole album has been like a pretty much every day we get in the studio, we're making a song type situation. Now, what I will say is it wasn't just like we just got there. I knew that my writing wasn't where I wanted to be. Like I've been starting to experiment different ways in my writing and stuff. Cause like for a minute I was just like trying to be as rapidy as I could be. And I was wearing myself out. Not in a bad way, just like literally like I performed my last EP and I was like, damn man, I'm too old for this shit. Like I ain't trying to do all these goddamn triplets and shit. So I was just seeing what worked at that time. And I knew a goal that I had with my writing was I wanted to be able to say less and for it to be more impactful. Because I always feel like that's like a certain place rappers get that I'm really I appreciate. So to get ready for that, I did like 30 freestyles leading up to it. Not like actual freestyles, like I get a beat and write to it type shit.
Yeah.
So I did like 30 of those, and it's like the first like 5 to 10 might have been like big titties and some shit, like some goofy shit, like just joking around. But then by like the 10th one, I'm like talking about like God, and the 11th one I'm talking about like finance and shit like that. So it was like it came natural. I didn't like stop myself from being goofy. I just got it out my system. So I did all that shit, and it's like, okay, this is the writing that I wanted to get to. And after I went through that little trial period, shout out to Jack Union, the very next, like the first session we did, and we were also very illicit on about the content that we wanted to make, about how we wanted it to sound, what kind of project we were going to do. So it wasn't like we just pulled up and was just like, well, I want to go what you feel like doing. Like we knew what we wanted to do, but since we had set that tonic for everything, every session that followed, we could do, what do you feel like doing? But it was because we already had the skeleton of how we wanted to do it. So he literally made the beat that day. I think I might have had some of it already ready. But that was just how I was feeling, honestly, as far as in regards to like setting the pace for the album, not just the album, but for the writing of it too, where it was just like, we're not trying to be on some sad boy shit. We tired of certain things. We're just trying to keep shit chill and just, explaining where I was mentally too, like as far as my matriculation as a young man and like what type of activity I was tired of and like where I was trying to go with it. So it was more almost like a roadmap for the album and for what's to come aesthetically.
Okay. Hey, talk a little more about the album.
Yeah. It's called Ask About the Octopus.
Okay.
So that for a reason as well too. And again, we just kind of exploring the spiritual meaning behind the animal and shit like that, and how it relates to myself in that journey. I don't want to give too much away because it is within the album, but that's essentially how it ties everything in. I will say, when we made it again aesthetically, we knew that the purpose of it was we wanted to slow shit down. We wasn't trying to like do a whole bunch of shit. And I mean, for business reasons and for just aesthetic reasons, like for one, I just didn't feel like making no lit ass music. I'm chilling. Like I'm at the crib smoking and think about shit. We watching YouTube videos. Like we chilling. Like I'm not turning up right now. And that's my demographic too. Most people, if you listen to my shit, more than likely you're not really turning up like that. At least right now. So we wanted to make shit that accommodated that. Like I wanted to make some stuff that like you could listen to it and like kind of hear my growth. But at the same time, if you just vacuuming, you're not paying attention, you still gonna fuck with it too. Like it serves multiple purposes. So it's a lot of good shit in there.
Okay.
God damn it.
Hey man. From what I'm hearing, I can't wait for this thing to drop because look, the first time that I actually played New Portions, I was like, this is very different for Skuzii, but you know what? I vibe to it. Because as you said, like I know in the past that your flow and the way that you pretty much put together your raps have been crazy. So the fact that you kind of slowed it down on this one, it was definitely different, but it was something that I definitely picked up on and was like, wait a minute, you know what? This is a different flow that he's doing, but I actually like it because usually I know that when you really want to get down to it, you can spit like this, and it's just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of it was just like, all right, I don't have anything to prove to anybody, and I have to tell myself that.
Yeah.
So it's like, cause like that's honestly my comfort zone is rapping over shit like that. Right? Other stuff is just me kind of over time adapting to different shit, and then just exploring myself as an artist too. But I kind of had to like really exploit my comfort zone. Like it's like, okay, I don't normally rap on shit I'm comfortable over, so let's be comfortable, be cozy and shit.
Oh, okay, sounds good. I gotta ask this question first and foremost. Where did the octopus come from?
I would say initially it was about the time that I dropped Infinite Vibes from FINESSE. That was like my next step in like my professionalism as far as like really manifesting where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. So I'm a big fan of art. Like, I love a lot of different painters and shit like that. But I don't know that much about art on purpose. I know a lot about music. I don't want to know a lot about art. I just want to look at shit and be like, that looks cool. So I have my certain painters that I'm fond of. So there was a dude that I was started fucking with, Paul's in Brisbane, Australia. All Schmidt, super cool. He's actually really, really cool dude. And I just like his style of art. It was like minimal, but like kind of like how you see a lot of people do on the iPads and shit like that. He was like, this was like a while before he was doing that. And I told him I was a big fan of his. And this before I didn't have that many followers at the time, and he had like 13,000. And he actually responded. And I was just like, yo, just out of curiosity, like, do you do commissions? I'm like, I really want you to do my album cover. Thinking he was like, nah. And he was like, yeah. Now, I will say it cost a good bit of bread. But he asked me what I wanted. And I was like, bro, I just want me on the cover and an octopus on a pit bull choke chain. And he was like, okay. And he was like, I can't really paint the chain. Can I just have the octopus? I'm like, yeah. And there was no specific reason. I think I was just like texting people octopuses a lot back then.
You were.
Yeah.
You definitely were.
And I was just like, there was no reason. I do a lot of random shit, and a lot of random shit happens to me. If you know me personally, you're probably aware that I have a lot of weird ass stories. That's just my life. It's very random and weird. But so I don't question shit. I just let it happen. And I was like, yo, it's gonna explain itself later. And me being an opportunist and I like business and shit, I'm like, I know this offers some type of mystique. So if I just have this weird ass unexplained octopus, most people gonna probably think it's something sexual or pussy or some shit like that. And then the other half is like, what's going on? So, and then the funny thing is, again, I'm like, I don't fucking know.
The wild shit is, a lot of people would hit me up and be like, yo, does that mean octopussy? One of my coworkers asked me that a month ago. What the No, it's not always about pussy, ma'am. Sometimes the octopus just wants to be himself.
Get your mind off the gutter. Yes. But I understand that, and that was like, honestly, that was part of like, I didn't run away from that shit. So it was like in my head, I might have been thinking that, but I was like, I understand it's part of my image. So I just kept that shit going. Like again, it was a mystique thing. So it was like I know people attract to mystique. So that's why we came up with the name "Don't Ask About the Octopus" and shit like that. It's like why is it like that's what's gonna make people interested. If I have some shit in the box and it's just like don't look, it's like what's in it? I'm gonna fucking tell you. It's in the box. It's air. But I knew that eventually the meaning would show itself to me, which is how we came about this album. Was like it showed itself to me, and it's like when I did start researching the shit, did start coming to me naturally. It did make a lot of sense, and I was like, okay, this is not by accident.
Okay, yeah, I definitely. That just reminded me because again, you kind of answered the question that I was actually going to go into because it started with "Don't Ask About the Octopus," and now the album that's coming out is "Ask About the Octopus." So I just kind of feel like that dynamic between the two, it has definitely. You can see the transformation from Infinite Vows in the Land of Finesse, and you can see where you're headed right now. To my audience, if you haven't listened to any of Skuzii's work, please go and definitely check it out. I definitely recommend, especially if you're on Spotify, the musing is on there. You also have Infinite Vows from the Land of Finesse, and then you have Veronica's Apartment. We'll get into that into this next segment. Nasa, do you have any more questions right now? I got you. Sure. We're gonna wait. In the meantime, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. Don't move. We will be right back after some very important messages from some very important sponsors.
Ew.
Hey, family. Before I continue into the next segment, I just want to talk to you about a company that one of my little homies in the Hampton University Drumline, aka Sticky Situation, has started. Naturally Bodied is a natural self-care body shop owned by Jada Buford, a biology student at Hampton University that offers handcrafted body care products for men and women. They currently offer various body butters and foam in butter cleansers, as well as body scrubs, loofah soap bars, and beard oil for men. The men's line, Royal Pride, includes a sandalwood collection that includes beard oil, a foaming butter cleanser, and a body butter. They aim to allow people to care for their bodies in the most natural way possible to get radiant, glowing skin that will make you even more proud of the way God made you. Naturally Bodied stands for blessed, opulent, dazzling, incomparable, exuberant, and dauntless. All words of empowerment and power that promote self-confidence in the way God made you. The men's line, Royal Pride, has the same message and stands for power, respect, integrity, discipline, and energy. So to get more information on Naturally Bodied, visit the website at www.naturallybodied.com, or you can follow them on their social media platforms on Twitter and Instagram, and that's at Naturally Bodied. Again, follow them at Naturally Bodied on Instagram and Twitter, or go to the website www.naturallybodied.com for more information. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're here once again with Skuzii and with Chubbsy Bear, just discussing some things in regards to the album that's coming out. Now, I do have a question because I know that in the past, I remember when you were, working on one of your projects, Veronica's Apartment, and that actually kind of took a while before that came together. So how was this album able to come together a little more quickly, if that makes any sense?
Veronica's Apartment was just a different project, and then I was just at a different pace as an artist too. So and you got to think Veronica's Apartment was something I started completely by myself. Mm-hmm. So I was doing all the production by myself at first and stuff like that. And for me, that was telling my story at that time, and I feel like that was a relatable story too, as far as just being in college not working out, being ain't shit, trying to get out of ain't shit nigginess. It really enveloped that whole time period for me. And So it was an important part. So it was like it was one of them things where all those songs were literally being written as they happened. It's like a lot of those things are like actual stories people include and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
This project was a lot easier, but again, that was just my development as an artist. Like it went from me taking a couple weeks to a couple months to do a song to a day. You know what I mean? And then also working with other people. Like I got Jack Union on a lot of production of Veronica's Apartment a little bit later into it. So it's like while a lot of it is mine, a lot of it he spiced everything up, and then some of that's his own shit too. So
which I will say I do appreciate you allowing me to be on that project.
Oh, thank you for being on it.
Thank you.
Yeah. but I would say as far as timing though, it's really just craftsmanship. Just getting better at my craft over time, honestly. Nothing specific. It's just that, yeah.
I got you. Nasa?
Oh, no, I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to be on that project since you were talking about it. But yes, because that was kind of like my introduction into being a part of doing music. That was really my introduction on.
Hey man, happy to have you. I'm glad that you took it and ran with it.
Yeah, I did. I mean, because at first I did a remix with Zay on his Emotion song off of his like What Are You Doing album.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you hit me up as far as to do prescriptions, I was just like, okay, good. Like, so that gave me, I feel like being in that area or in that zone at the time, like it definitely gave me confidence to just continue.
That's fucking dope.
It really did give me confidence. I felt so good afterwards. I felt so good afterwards. I was like, oh, I have to do it again. Like
motivation.
I just had to do it again. So I was just like, thank you for that.
Motivation.
Yeah. That's definitely no problem. I'm just happy to have you.
Word. So I do have to ask. I'm actually gonna go to Chubbsy Bear here. A quick question in regards to starting with the Tribe of Finesse. What first got you involved? Because I know that you spoke a little bit about it in the first segment, but I guess I wanted to get more of your side on how that came to be.
Really, it was me and Skuzii started actually becoming roommates about 2.5 years ago, and I really wasn't doing nothing, and I was just helping the DJ move all this equipment, just go to shows. I wasn't really honestly just doing nothing. My job was to get lit and facilitate a good time for everybody, which is just me running around being loud, which I was good at, until we went to one show and I dropped 4 drinks because my spatial awareness as I get lit, I'm a pretty wide person. Fuck you. It was 4.5. I drank half of one. My spatial awareness as I get more and more lit diminishes. So there was this one wall that I kept hitting, and I dropped a drink. And I was just too lit that night. But as we progressed, I just started doing just random clerical shit. Honestly, you want to check out one thing that I've done. I developed the website Skuzii.com, SKUZ with 2 I's.com, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments. Setting up shit. It just kind of naturally developed into that because we just talk business. Whenever we we're at the apartment, we talk business. It's oh, did you see this video? Oh, Bruce tells me about an interview that he listened to and all this other stuff. We just kind of bounce ideas off each other, and it ended up developing into kind of being part of management and content creating. Because we some funny motherfuckers. We'll be sitting in the apartment. A lot of stuff we talk about around people, we'll just be in the apartment randomly talking about some dumb shit.
Thanks.
I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm the Teddy Westboro.
These are our stories.
But you can check out his Instagram page. We got a great community of Chubbsy Bear and Barry JC videos. You know what I'm saying? It's just natural shit that we ended up doing, and it just kind of worked out.
Word. I could kind of attest to the random shit talk. Just being around y'all for so many years, it'll just be some random shit that we can just talk about and laugh about. To my audience here, just to keep you aware, of course, when we're not recording, obviously these two have brought up some pretty random conversations, which is, has kept us entertained throughout this morning because, we're recording this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. The morning before Thanksgiving. Well, the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. It ain't tomorrow. It's Thursday. But by the time that this episode drops, it will be the day before Thanksgiving. So, naturally, I wanted to try and drop this beforehand because I know that with Thanksgiving, everybody's, for those who are going to be with their families. They're going to be with their families all day, every day, and whatnot. Also, while you guys are out there, please stay safe. The COVID numbers have gone up, so just please bear in mind of those sort of things.
Facts.
Yeah, but please be like, if it's your immediate family, cool and whatnot, like extended family, I wouldn't risk it. I'm not about to risk it. I'm just gonna be here. But again, y'all, just be safe out there.
Wash your fucking hands.
Yes. Please wash your hands. Please wear your mask.
Stop going to the club.
Stop going to the goddamn club. You don't gotta go.
We live in Shockoe Bottom, man, like right above, like a kind of club.
I thought the clubs were
Ooh,
closed.
the restaurants that become clubs aren't. Trust me, we live over one of them. Yo, we were just walking around like at like 10 o'clock at night on a Friday, Saturday. Why are there lines going into these restaurants? I'm like, God damn.
Oh no.
Like,
You got kids. Go
The mandate
home.
was Sunday.
You-
The mandate back on lockdown was on Sunday.
Bruh,
What happened?
People wanted no seriously.
What happened?
That weekend that the mandate came into play,
Mm-hmm.
people were getting their $3 Hennessy shots and some shitty ass chicken wings just to be in a fucking like club.
It's not that serious.
And, like,
They'll
it's
be
really not. Motherfuckers was-
they'll be there.
They were looking at us like we were weird.
These niggas is not in here.
Well, you don't want to be in line. You too good for the club. I'm
Too
like,
good for It's the actual Hennessy bottle talking. So you too good for me?
yes,
Absolutely.
You're the devil.
I flavor everything.
Corona's great for the club, so y'all have it. Y'all
Facts.
have it.
Facts.
Natural selection.
It
Natural
really is
selection.
natural selection because it's one of the. I mean, granted, scientifically, they're saying they don't know how to get to. No, maybe it's not from surfaces. It is from airborne. I'm like, God damn, you motherfuckers are just in the club, packed to the brim, elbow to elbow. Like 6 feet don't exist.
You dirty bitch.
Dirty bitch.
Man, people out here just have no regards for the lives. They just want to have fun and
Well, my
worry about
life,
the
you
later.
dirty
Like I'm
motherfucker.
saying, like
It's fine to have fun,
Yeah.
but then
Exactly.
it's also to have fun while alive. So
I'm saying,
while
It's
alive.
safe
So
fun. That's what
yeah, and on top of that, you're putting other lives at risk too, who may not want to be in that position either. So, man, people just out here, they're just selfish. But that's just my
it's
opinion.
fun to be alive.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about Americans,
Too.
man. Like we talked about, a lot of people in America, like as a whole country, are selfish. They just want to turn up. You got motherfuckers in Italy and France. They stayed in the house. The government cared about them for one, but that's beside the point. But
Nah, facts though. I feel like that's a testament to your creativity too, because it's like I feel like if you have, but that's the first. Moving to Richmond was the first time me personally I've been exposed to the culture of motherfuckers who have to go out.
yeah,
Like it's like I literally like people. I mean, it's all people like our age who like out of school working and shit like that, and it's all that demographic. Like living downtown, I noticed it's like before Corona, I'm like, bro, y'all go like these. I hear people complain about like, damn, I'm spending hundreds of dollars every weekend. I'm like, nigga, how? I'm like, and again, I know it's possible for me. Like, it's like, bro, I don't even like going out like that. Like, I like going to like fun, weird things, but like the club, like I'm tired of the club after 15 minutes.
but
And I hate Hennessy.
That's facts. that's facts.
Yes. Shoot, I got clubbed out after I turned 23. I was like, all right, y'all, I did this because I used to promote for a club back in Charleston. So it was just like, all right, man, I've been doing this for 3 years now. I'm good. Y'all got it. Like I've reached the age where I don't care anymore. I'm just like, if I go into the club, like it has to be like one of those really, really special events, or it has to be one of those special times where like I got a friend and they want to go out. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I got nothing else to do. I'm not about to sit here and go out all day, every day. That's just not me. Because again, I'm past that point now. But some people, it's just a crush to them, man. It's an actual. I don't call it a disease, but it's literally a vice. They need to go out every single weekend, and I don't get it. But
plus, you're spending $100 on a bottle of alcohol that'll cost you $40 at the ABC store.
Exactly.
It's being nice.
Nice. That's being generous.
Like,
That's $100 for a Jose Cuervo bottle. Would you give? It's not that
Section.
special. Jose Cuervo is the shittiest tequila other than El Toro and Juarez. You spend $100 for that?
oh my gosh, let's not talk about that. Woo, boy, that tequila done put me on my ass. Pause.
Susie, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Like since the whole pandemic has since we've been in the midst of the pandemic, like how has that affected you? Are you more of like an introvert or are you more like an extrovert? Because I know like for those who are extroverts, it's a struggle. And it's a struggle because you have to engage with other people to try to get things going. But like as an introvert, because I know for myself as an introvert, I'm okay with just being inside, and like my creativity comes with just within my own space. So how would you say that the pandemic has, like, I wouldn't say affected you? How has that affected you?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing, right? You ever catch yourself before you say some dumb shit? So I was trying to figure out cause way my brain works is I just like cycle through words till one works, and I just break down words. Like me, I was trying to figure out a way to explain my duality, and like I'm a Gemini, so like I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And my first thing I was gonna say, I'm a bisexual, so it's like this.
That is news to everybody.
This just it.
I was about to say,
this just it.
That shit would be all over Instagram. Skuzii bisexual.
This is
Find out today.
Like 2 months from now, this nigga gets paid. They call him Pay Griffin. I'm not bisexual. Shout out to all the bisexuals out there. I see you and I fucks with you. And all the what was the word we said the other day? Bull daggers.
Bull daggers.
Shout out to bull
All the
daggers.
bull daggers.
Anywho, that is problematic. You guys don't call anybody bull dagger. But to answer the question, I'm very wishy-washy as a person. And again, another thing we should probably attest to is like I'm learning now more that I think I am more introverted, but I will also turn the fuck up a lot.
Which makes you an ambivert. It's the
Amber Alert.
Ambivert. Amber
Not
Alert.
Amber.
Amber Alert. No,
Ambivert.
it's called an ambivert. It's like you have the characteristics of both extrovert and introvert.
Yeah.
It's situational.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But I can be honest and say everything kind of fucked me up pretty bad at first. Like it's like the first time I've been in therapy was this year and shit like that. But I think I don't know if it's just timing because of the year or timing because where I'm at with who I am as a man and shit. But a lot of things that I was I guess putting in the back of my head as far as like different trauma and shit I've been through, just not confronting some of the things I did do like over excess, like the drinking and turning up and shit like that. Because I've had to just sit the fuck down and maybe confront everything. So it's like it's been good because I've like a lot of shit that I haven't properly dealt with as a man. I've had to deal with it, and it's like made me a lot better as a person, I feel like. But also that's hard shit to deal with as far as like some of the shit that's just packed in the back of my head. So but what I can say I'm proud of about myself is when I was understanding this shit that I was dealing with, I didn't just let it happen. I was like, okay, clearly something's wrong. I went, got like a therapist and shit. And by the way, just to say, just because you go to a therapist don't mean something's wrong. I think everybody should go see a fucking therapist.
Honestly, like seeing a therapist is nothing wrong. Like it gives you, I feel like seeing a therapist, it gives you another perspective, like another mindset.
Facts.
So
yeah, but I can say if anything, it's really helped me. If anything, too, I would say it solidified who I am as a person, especially now. Like I'm understanding a lot of the shit that we have done. Like me and him joke all the time about how we was just a little too friendly with people. Like me especially. Like my whole thing was I'm just like turn up. I'll turn up with whoever. It don't matter. But because of that, we put ourselves and our business in compromised positions at times. So it's like while some of it's made for funny stories and good jokes and stuff, we've had situations where it's like, man, one wrong turn, something could have happened. Something could have happened to somebody, and it could have ended badly. And it's just like for me, it's just like kind of starting to gain more responsibility of like, okay, we have a lot of fun, but everything can't just be fun all the fucking time. And everybody's not out there with your best interest either. So a lot of all that has just kind of stapled itself into my work ethic. So like now at the ass end of things, it's been all come together very productively, almost like a positive soup. Shout out to soup. I like soup. I do like soup.
Word. How has that affected your performing? Because we know that with COVID, of course, a lot of times you can't be in like in big spaces or with big crowds and whatnot. So how has the pandemic, affected your performing out in the open?
Shit, it's gone. It sucks though, because I'm like that's my whole thing is performing. I'm performing, and going to therapy shit. I didn't realize how much of my ego that was serving, and so now like there's like a void there. But I love to. I'm a music nerd, man. It don't matter how I'm performing. I love to perform, especially rapping. So it's and then like the competitive energy I got from that too. I got like I don't get to indulge in that. Like I'm real competitive with performing. So it's like now I have like overly competitive randomly in certain areas and shit. Which is why I'm glad we haven't played that card game. What's it called?
You're talking about Super Fight.
Super Fight.
Yeah, that game did work out when you were performing more because you didn't have a lot of energy.
Yeah. But yeah, not to get off topic. We about to get super off topic. But yeah, it sucks, nigga. Like, goddamn, I want to perform. But we trying to do whatever we can. We've done like live performances and stuff, or we've done performances at a place or whatever and have it recorded. And they're still good quality performances. But for me, I'm not getting that like it's
an edge you need.
I was gonna say nut, but same thing. Yeah, it's like there's no like like it's a good feeling after like a successful, like you work forever for a performance and you get to do it and you see everybody like, oh, like that's a good ass feeling, man.
You strive for that. You want multiple people on a ticket. Like, oh, I just saw their shit. I'm about to fuck it up right quick.
Yeah,
I'm about to walk on stage, about to fuck your shit up.
Moonwalk.
No, that ass. Oh, absolutely.
Word, guys. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought here. But yeah, I see how that could affect you, you know, and definitely, guys, if you don't need a therapist to see, you know, it's not anything wrong with you if you're trying to talk to a therapist, as we said in the past. Because I'm actually looking more for one myself, just so that way I can, as everyone has said, have a different perspective. And I know that that's something that you pointed out when, especially since you can't perform anymore, you know, I know that it was, you know, that you would love to perform and whatnot, because every chance that we got or every opportunity that we saw that you were performing at, whether it was open mic or whether it was, you know, your own performances, I know that you did a lot, especially like around this area and a lot around Richmond. So I know with the pandemic, it's forced you to kind of, I guess, be a little more on the creative side. Like you have to do different things to continue to get your name out. So what are some other things that you're doing while this has been going on?
Shit, honestly, what we're doing right now, like trying to find more people with podcasts and shit like that.
Okay.
So the people just always networking, man, because network is always going to be important. It's just always going to be in different aspects, because like a lot of performing was at the forefront of things. That was always a cool way for us to get to know people. Like we go to New York to open mic or New York for a show. We might not know everybody, but by the end of the thing, we know everybody. Same thing with like DC. Like going to these different cities and meeting different people on their scenes was so helpful. Now we can't do that. So it's like, shit, just sliding in people's DMs, honestly. And some people don't hit you back, some people do. And just trying to find more ways to do things. Like for example, podcast thing might not be what we do, but it's another form of I love podcasts personally. Like, and then for us to be able to get on and talk to different people and stuff and meet people, I think that's another good form of it too.
Right.
And cooking.
Yeah. To my audience, definitely check out some of these Instagram lives that they post out, because yeah, I watched that one where y'all made what was the sloppy toppy joes.
You agree?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to watch the one with sloppy toppy joes, but when we wanted to make chicken parmesan, nobody wants to watch it because we didn't put sloppy or toppy. My bad.
You know, I'm joking, but it was like, we got to start putting freaky ass titles for all of them, having nothing to do with that shit.
Makes people listen to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
why do people have to have a freaky mind to watch some shit? Like,
I don't know. It's just all about the shock factor.
Hell yeah.
It's like, damn, this nigga on Instagram Live doing sloppy toppy?
Oh, the fuck? I'm like, no. We're just cooking.
You look on it, nigga actually browning some ground turkey.
Well, it does look good.
Get the fuck out of here. There's someone on Twitter like that. It's like, this girl said, here's the three of the best creamers. And everybody's like, you talking about Victoria cakes? What you got up there? And then it's like, whole time it was international delights. Creamers for goddamn coffee. People like freaky shit. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, in this case, hip hop. Sells.
Yeah. Shit. But we was talking about it too, just like in regard like the sexual shit or whatever. It's like, it's interesting because like the type of I guess social structure we have, it's like everybody's freaky as hell, but at the same time, motherfuckers make you feel bad for being sexual. It's like this really weird duality of bullshit. Yeah. So, sloppy toppy jokes.
They condemn someone's sexual freedom, and the same token, the person you're condemning probably likes the same shit you do in secret.
It's probably freakier. That's what I'm saying. People that be condemning be the nastiest motherfuckers. Right. Like old rich white dudes, like getting peed on and shit,
or shit
for money. Shit in.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like
that's true.
Boy.
That's true.
Yeah, I could definitely talk a little more about that, because I know some people who the first to condemn something, but then they'll be like, "Oh, let me check this out though," or let me participate. And it's just like, but yeah, like, but weren't you just?
This nigga's nasty.
Hold up, bro. Like,
it's like, did you? She's like, did you eat Chipotle before you got here?
There's a white lady tied up in the back right now.
Has to do.
Hey, I don't participate in those kind of things. Let's just keep it like that. But I'm just saying, I know some people who, you know, you at first glance you think, oh, they're, you know, if they talk to you, they'd be the first to probably condemn something, but then you turn around and you find out something else about it, and you're like, oh, but once you, I didn't just, you know what, you got it. Yeah,
Scatting is not just about singing. What if you had like a problematic bill or some shit?
Louis Poopstrong over here.
But the food is good though.
It is very good.
We definitely did.
Sloppy top jokes from scratch.
Yeah. Most of the food that we do cook is from scratch, and it's like it's not only just about the food. We make sure we have the music playing in the background, or we put like just random plugs of check this out, check this song, check this album out. It's like it's all about. We're trying to diversify for one our business, that business aspect of the Tribe of Finesse, while automatic or at the same time pushing forth the main focus, which is the music.
Yeah. Right. And make no mistake too, if you see some shit we cooking that you like, we do offer early that if you want to buy it, you can. We're not selling the shit just to sell it. You know, it's a part of the everything. So it's like we will let you know ahead of time. I definitely recommend it. We definitely give you more than what you asked for, I promise.
And we're in Richmond.
Very important.
That's important. Because we've had people hit us up, be like, I need that. And they're like in the heart of Newport News right now. I'm like,
I can't help you.
I respect it, but I respect it like wanting to support, but we ain't traveling no way.
No, that's real. That's real. So a little more about the album. As far as like the promo work, we've seen like different posts about asking about the octopus or like different random facts about the octopus. So what made you guys like actually think about those random facts and just decide to like post that out as part of the marketing?
We were just honestly brainstorming different things we could do, but I know again, one of my intentions is always to inform. So it's like we might have humorous aspects of things, we might have direct musical stuff, but like I always like to give you a little bit more. Like if the brand is like a party, I want to give you everything in the party. You want food, drinks, you know, prostitutes if you into that.
A sniff a coat.
Yeah, I don't like it, but you might like it. But in all seriousness though, we just try to add give you different things. So it's not like we just throwing a random promo at you. Some of it's gonna be funny, some of it's gonna be informative. Just a little bit of everything, so it's that you like while you waiting on the actual material, you don't get tired, and at the same time you get warmed up for it. And even if you don't like the shit, you might have got a random ass fact out of just looking at my page.
Facts.
Word. Nasa, you got any more questions?
Oh no. Okay.
Word. So before we sign off here, I did want to at least ask if you guys got any artists that you guys wanted to shout out or any black businesses that you wanted to stamp.
Oh man, you gotta go first. I would list a random ones.
Yeah, I'm literally just pause coming off the top real quick. Yeah, definitely everybody associated with the team. Shout out to my name Brian. Shout out to the entire Finesse band. Shout out to DJ Stu. He owns 8 Waffle Houses. Very, very good. I'm just kidding. He doesn't know. But he will one day, goddamn. That's an inside joke. Shout out to Jack Union. No One Ever. Shout out to Wilkes. Goddamn Phil. Me. Phil me. Nah, but everybody in the 804. Shout out to Feel Good. Shout out to Charlotte's. Goddamn. Very good food. I'm forgetting hell. Shout out to my mama. Appreciate you, Mom. Newport Shorts videos out right now. Big shout out to Tyler Barnes for directing it. Daddy Mo Bucks, very dope. D-Lope for doing the photography for the album. Goddamn, I can't think of anything else.
I mean, I think you covered pretty much all of them, man. Definitely shout out to Bash Baby, the official animal supporter of the Tribe of Finesse. He is a young puppo Skips, very supportive. Shout out to us for actually putting out good shit. Shout out to Chaotic Culture Podcast for having us out. Shout out to motherfucking honestly everybody involved who's just trying to forward their own agendas.
Shout out to Don Digital on photography too.
Facts. Yeah. Facts. And check out Skuzii.com, man. It's a good
Imani Blair and her podcast too.
Oh shit.
Who was on there talking about all types of freaky shit and musical shit.
Cloud TV podcast. 94.7 The Link. I'm just thinking of everybody we've been involved with this week, man.
Yeah. Everybody, man.
Shout out to Crick.
Yeah. And love yourself, King. Keep a third eye open.
Because if your third eye's not open, you got two eyes closed.
Yes.
Word.
Shout out to Jesus.
As always.
Yes, and whoever you believe in, you have the right to do that.
You can.
You do.
Religious freedom. Don't let these white people hold you down, baby.
Right. So guys, to my audience listeners, also be sure that you go on YouTube again and check out the video for Newport Shorts. As I said previously, it has just now hit 10K. Yeah, it's I definitely want you guys to check out that video. Check out his music. Definitely, as he said, go to Skuzii.com. Go on Spotify, look up Skuzii. You'll see all of his work there, from the music all the way up to his latest single, which will be Newport Shorts. Of course, keep an eye out for the album for Ask About the Octopus. Do you have a release date?
I'm not bisexual. I'm just fucking with
What?
you. No, we don't have an official date yet. It actually was supposed to come out this week, but the theme of the week has been God's timing.
Hey,
trying to force anything. We don't work for nobody yet but ourselves, so we're not gonna force no music out. Now I will say it is pretty much done. It's just a matter of the arranging and shit like that. It's a little musical shit. So I'll give it roughly about 3 weeks. 3 weeks or so. Don't quote me on that, but probably about that time. If you follow me, you'll know. You will definitely know. Now I can't say you can anticipate another video coming soon. We did drop another single called Calisthenics featuring Young IV. Very lit song. If you want to do some pull-ups, do it to that song.
Or push-ups.
Push-ups, whatever you want to do. Pull up, push up.
Sit up.
Anything.
Boot up.
Just don't throw up.
Amen.
Indeed.
Good for you.
Yeah, I actually just saw that on the Spotify page. I definitely saw that Calisthenics was posted up, so I'm definitely going to take a listen to that shortly.
You'll work out while you're doing it.
Word.
Yeah, facts.
Word. I'll definitely add that to the playlist. In the meantime, guys, I definitely appreciate y'all coming through and doing this interview with us. It's always a good time when y'all are in the building anyway. So this, having you guys on this platform really does mean a lot. Just not to me as well, but I know that we got listeners out there who will definitely appreciate you guys coming on here. It's a little more unfiltered than normal, but at the same time, you know what? It is what it is. I know I'm probably gonna have to warn my mom before she listens to it. Like, you may want to brace yourself, because this one is gonna be kind of just kind of
scat play.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I thought we were gonna talk about titties instead of talking about titties. I'm confused.
I'm here for everybody's sexual identity. They ain't mine.
Hey,
that's true.
But respect. Again, getting off topic. But thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Both an honor and a pleasure.
Not a problem, guys. We'll probably do this again sometime soon. In the next season, where hopefully the technology will be a lot better too, because we'll have some actual mics in here that'll allow us to social distance more than we are doing. But that being said, guys, we're gonna sign off in the next segment. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Yeah. It is.
All right, so there you have it. So before we sign off, just wanted to, of course, thank Skuzii and Chubbsy Bear and Nasa once again for coming through and doing the interview. Once again, I really, really appreciate them coming in. I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. They got raunchy at times, but you know what?
That's life.
Yeah, that's life.
We just dealt with 4 years of raunchiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So that being said, we are gonna sign off here. Is there any black business that you want to put a plug in for, Law, before we get out of here?
Never Stop Loving. It's ran and founded by a friend of mine named David. I'm getting his information up now.
All right.
Come on, Instagram.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm actually gonna plug in my stylist, Locks by Journey. If you are interested in doing natural locks or having natural locks, I definitely recommend her, especially if you're in the 7-5 area. Definitely look her up on Instagram at Locks by Journey. Everything that she does is natural. She doesn't add any product to your hair or anything like that. It's strictly water and oil based. But definitely look her up if you're interested in doing that kind of lock growth. I strongly recommend her as well. That's all as far as the hair portion. I'm trying to think if there are any other businesses here. Once again, you got to give a shout out to Addison, of course, the Candle Music app. He's getting ready to release the beta. So definitely continue to check that out. www.candleapp.com. Definitely check him out. Candle, once again, is spelled with a K. I did put the plug in this episode anyway, but still, go check it out.
I can't find it, but I'm gonna make sure that I plug him in correctly so he can get his
word. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We definitely got plenty of opportunities to do that. I gotta really just give a quick shout out to any black streamers or black gamers who are out there, especially to my boy Alex and to my homie Kiana or Q. Like, I see that y'all are really like taking this seriously, and I definitely want people to check them out, because you hear about, you know, people who stream games and especially black streamers, but I don't really plug them in like I should. So definitely check them out. If you want to check out Alex, or at least speak to him, his name is Alex Sanders. He's outside of Charleston. He also does tech work as well. So definitely look him up on Instagram. It's going to be at Flex on him, and that's going to be at FL 3 E's XONEM. That's Flex on him. And then for Kiana, her handle is going to be the Geechee Gamer. I'm trying to find her actual profile right now. But yeah, check out the Geechee Gamer. That's DAGEECHEE Gamer. Definitely check those two out. I guarantee you'll like their streams and you will love their commentary on them. And honestly, if you are listening, shout out to you, because I definitely appreciate you for tuning in. That being said, this wraps up another episode of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Please be safe. It is Thanksgiving weekend, so please be safe if you are traveling, but also be safe because this is still a pandemic.
Facts.
If you can limit the amount of people that you celebrate this holiday with, please do so. If you can't, please just take the necessary precautions to stay safe. Wear a mask, wash your hands, stay, you know, at a certain distance, especially if you have older family members. Do what you can to get this thing curved down, because now we're in an incredible spike. And at this point, we've got over 250,000 dead in this nation. And it'll probably hit 300,000 before the end of this year if we're not careful, especially with the way that the holidays are.
I was just going to say, think about it this way. Live for the sacrifices now so that you can see your dreams and goals of tomorrow.
Yes.
It's okay. Everybody is having to make a certain sacrifice when it comes to the holidays this year. But you would rather be in a position where you can be seen next year and years following, as opposed to thinking that, okay, well, this is going to be my last one. Now, if you think that, you want to get out and visit family, do what they say. You got to quarantine yourself and make sure that you're following safety protocols so that everybody can, again, be safe.
Absolutely. So, but again, if you are traveling, just please be safe on the roads. Please be safe in the airways. And once again, guys, just continue to be mindful of the current situation that we're all in. So with that, this has been Ked the Pro and Law, here again with another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe us. If you are on Facebook, again, go like the Chaotic Culture Podcast page. I'm going to continue to keep dropping the link on my personal Facebook as well. Also, be sure that you follow us on Twitter at chaotic_culture, and then follow us on Instagram at Chaotic Culture Pod. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, or any topics that you want us to talk about, definitely hit us up. We're open to any kind of suggestion, and we'll definitely are open to any interview if we can get to it, obviously. So with that, this has been Cat the Pro. Be blessed. Be safe. God is love. Peace.
One.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our pod, and check out previous episodes as well. Go ahead and follow the Chaotic Culture Podcast page on Facebook and follow at Chaotic Culture Pod on Instagram. Also, be sure to follow our personal pages. You can follow Law on Instagram at L.JR_96 and myself, K3D the Pro, on Instagram and Twitter. Please also do us the courtesy and follow our featured artists and guests listed in the episode description. If you like this beat, follow at the RJ Stackhouse on Instagram and his Twitter page at RJ Stackhouse for more music and music-related content. I hope today's episode blessed your souls and stimulated your mind. Until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, survive the chaos. This has been Ked the Pro with Chaotic Culture Podcast. Be blessed, be safe. God is love. Peace.